matches on Inferno. Yes, they got owned by Mousesports, but it seemed like an anomaly. They got their revenge series here at Blast.
Amanek, he may be the first to die, but Magisk doesn't check it. And Amanek sees them crossing. He turns out... Oh! What a way to start the day! Amanek, total execution.
Who needs caffeine? Oh my god.
That's it.
Wow.
That's the game.
That's it. Yeah. Let's, oh, a 4K. Oh, with a beautiful one tap at the end too. We're gonna queue that up and put that in all the highlight reels for the day.
Wow, it's been a good while since we've seen a trigger discipline play like that.
That's beautiful. All alone.
The French guillotine just comes.
It's all of them. Every reaction. Oh, that was wonderful. Very, very nicely done, Amanek.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle in.
All right, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth here. The last time Astralis and G2 played on Inferno, it went to overtime. Astralis still won, but at least G2 got them that close. It was one of the closest that they've ever gotten to losing, apart from the 2 games out of the last 12 they actually did. So now we've got the Glock save. They really have to take a seat after that one. We've seen Glaive call a pause after a round like that.
Yeah, we have. We've seen him call a pause after a lot less than something like that.
Yeah.
Nothing but Glocks here for Astralis. Man, you run that play a million times. How many moments actually work out that perfectly? Magisk is going to manage to win a duel despite only having that default pistol. Kind of draws Astralis a little bit closer. They do pick up the MP9 as well. Mid, he's able to get one with his SMG, and sure enough, the umps prevail. But just a little back and forth affair there from Astralis, hitting both sides of the map, and ultimately losing the second round.
Yeah, that's a bit too much. A bit too much to lose just to Glocks. Gonna tech pause. Now we talk about Kenny S on Inferno yesterday. He had a really good performance. Like, because he hasn't been performing well lately, we have to talk about how he got 25 kills on Inferno versus Big and had 7 out of 7 opening duels won. 7 out of 7. That's pure impact. Those weren't just exit frags. Those weren't just lucky kills. He had a lot of opening duels won, and he had a lot of kills overall. We saw it with our own 2 eyes. He was hitting everything with his op. Everything.
Yeah. Honestly, a performance from Kenny S yesterday, like, we haven't seen for some time.
And G2 still lost.
Well, that sucks.
That's a weird thing. He even played... I mean, he played well yesterday across the series, but then they lost 2-1.
Oh... I could watch this 100 times.
It's so satisfying. You know, he's going to watch it 100 times. That's why you got to stream more, Connor.
Yeah, get clips like that.
It won't be that nice, but...
Well, you doubt me.
Can you do that in Danger Zone?
No. No, you can't. But you can beat people to death with your own fists.
Wow.
Can Amanek do that?
Could, maybe. I don't know. You and Amanek probably about the same size.
Are you implying we fight to the death?
In Danger Zone.
Of course.
Hopefully this gets resolved in a second.
Yeah, I can see the teams talking about it in all chat, so it does seem like something getting relegated quick. It's niko with the shaky interwebs connection.
Hmm.
Yes.
I want to talk about Inferno after it gets started.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be careful about what we say.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Well then.
Want to be careful about it.
What would you like to talk about?
Inferno.
Inferno. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
But just to talk about what the styles of play are going to be, and we do have G2 over on CT side as well. So like you know, this is kind of another Inferno match. We're going to try to see G2 break new ground. Hopefully between yesterday and today,
we get improvements.
They have to have had a talk about it, worked on some stuff, figured out where the issues. Because right now, their CT win percentage is 43%. Their T win percentage is 46%. Those are both really bad, right? Like, one could be lower than 50, but
not both.
They don't have a strong side at the moment.
That is inherently a failing grade. And not all of those tests were taken versus the likes of Astralis. We get the utility exchange, and Magisk, he has no clue where he is. Burnt to a crisp. Frag grenade goes deep, but there's nobody there to be met by that damage. G2, comfortable looking 5v4 here in the opening gun round.
Now this will be a real test. We've got the catch-all set up here. One in Speedway watching for Arch, a bit more passively. Straw's coming back up banana. There's no further aggression. I think Astralis knowing the 5v4, they really, G2 are not going to usually make a move. So they'll start to lean towards the stack. That one $200 flashbang could make a world of difference, calling the third person over towards B. Top bracket, wide open. But now they'll push and peek, and niko will see nothing. He's actually working on a big flank. This is something we do not see normally from G2 that you absolutely love to see.
Yeah, the more niko unleashed we see, the better. Frag grenade versus device. We've got the rest of G2 just very comfortable on this A site. It's going to take something special from Astralis to puncture through this hold.
And they got 15 seconds.
Not a lot of time. Glaive, he's going to get that headshot, but amouwk, he buys time by sitting comfortably inside of the pit. There's the push down into pit by Xyp9x, and he's got 2 CTs to take. Both of them here in front of him, but he doesn't know about nexa. Hides up on the hay bales and just gets G2 that third round on the board.
Not bad. Caught like 3 kills, lots of damage. But this is already something a little bit better from G2. Now, of course, Magisk thinks he's in the smoke because he thinks he's in the smoke because he is. But he's getting burned at the heels by that Molotov. Getting into pit, getting the 3 kills is nice for Astralis. A little bit weird how long it takes for them to make a decision on the site when they get there. But then when they got to A, we already had niko get bottom banana control. And when he saw that lean towards B, I thought this is a round where Astralis, they're getting too much off this flashbang. And normally, old G2 5v4, play 2-3, stack up sites, wait passive, because they would do that in 5v5 normally anyway. But here, they actually push, complete the push all the way to the bottom, think about the flank, and they actually leave niko there. That's something new.
Just let him sit there.
That's what we like to see. This is an improvement from G2 of old.
And of course, nexa is able to close it. The only real pull at the defense was, of course, Xyp9x getting down into the pit. He's the man that delivers the multi-kill. He's the guy that's left in the clutch. He's the one who takes it into the 1 versus 1, but can't quite finish. So we've got Astralis back into the half-buy. MAC-10s, Tech-9s, and a Deeg. Utilities here as well in the mix. Bomb back on ramp. No rush in a round like this from Astralis. Gonna start gathering information versus G2, figuring them out. And well, I do see a liability in the potential of this balk hit.
Yeah.
Flash is gonna come over from Magisk. And once it does, we could see these 2 MAC-10s just try and burst out, just try and close that distance, try and figure out where G2 are hiding at. We've got Kenny there on the barrel watching balcony, and then 2 CTs up on that porch. Kenny just does it on his own. His 2 teammates so comfortable until this point. More presence being shown, but that boiler pinch, that's what's supposed to alleviate the pressure, and so far so good. Magisk, he goes in, gets an AK, bomb still stranded back on balk. CT's flashbang, that blinded his teammate who was looking to cheat through smoke device. He just got niko with the deagle, and we are into the 2 versus 2. I thought those MAC-10s had to work, but it didn't. And yet still we see Astralis with somewhat of a recovery. But can they close? Amore and nexa, utility still to use. Smoke on the side of the site. Molotov here in front of Magisk. Flash by his side. And nexa's gonna get the kill off of the incendiary. Device, who has already given us a deagle kill, just needs one more. But nexa's had enough. G2, another round where it boils down to the 1 versus 1, but that's a 4th consecutive round win.
Yeah, it's not bad. Listen, kennyS has all the impact there. Getting the first 2 kills when you saw him at hulls. It should have never come that close in the first place. It's this spray down. You see him dodge the flashes, purposefully turning the other way, and then getting the first and second kill. That's everything. kennyS's performance from yesterday's carrying forward. That's great to see. It used to be a hallmark map for him, and it feels like these days he's not had so much impact on Inferno. So that's very nice as well. In the 1v1, I like the move from Device. If he gets out of Graveyard, get into Graveyard off of the corner of that smoke, then he'll probably win the round. If Nexa has to go and defuse knowing that Device was last left in pit.
Oh, get aggression.
It takes a bit of a risk, and nice. Nexa comes flying through the smoke. They get the early info on B, and Astralis will push for top mid control in exchange for the fact that G2 are playing the 3B setup. How fast will they move on to A?
Incredibly quick until they're met by that smoke. xyCkz, he is going to get the better of kennyS, so the T's continue on through it. Amore shaving one off Bout, and a bit of a continuation spray that just doesn't quite get the additional kill. dupreeh finds the headshot into Hunter, man advantage for Astralis, and niko already knocking on the door of this A site. It's him and nexa. 2 flashes between them, Molotov as well. But this smoke grenade's going to buy some very crucial time. Astralis, Glaive, he's got cover. Easy cover, but they go for the boost. And that does catch Magisk off guard. Glaive's unable to trade. At least not right away. But he does then move from where he revealed himself to be to the opposite side of the pit. And the CTs still decide to commit. But they're not being given anything else here. dupreeh dodging the shots as Glaive comes back at them from a slightly different angle. And you can see niko pulled between 2 directions, ripped in half as Astralis win their first.
The contact play in the 2v2 is perfect. From pit, wait for your teammate to shoot. He's going to be the guy who has the most pressure put on him right away. Big pit guy you want him to stay alive for as long as possible. He swings after the first shot comes out, and finally Astralis pull out a round. And here's one where nexa, off one good flash, is able to get through this half-wall smoke, find the kill on Device, and, you know, it's a proper response from Astralis. They go and they try to squeeze up mid, while there's still only 2 CTs on A. Amore almost hits this ridiculous spray transfer onto the site, and then the retake actually comes to within possible with this boost. So some creative tactics come in from both sides, some really sensible adjustments and responses, and ultimately G2, they have to call it a day. They're going to come in for this next round, and if they didn't get closer on that boost, they wouldn't have committed 2 players, and they might be in a better position financially. And yeah, right now they actually have nothing to work with, so probably won't even see an upgrade, and Astralis have a chance to come back into this game now. Already like what we're seeing more so from G2.
Yeah.
Things look good.
We've seen in both the rifle rounds some just sheer tenacity down banana.
Yeah. I think it was this thing where G2 before, they felt like the underdog team even when they were winning. So they were willing to work harder than everyone else for each and every round. But you look at like Faze's Inferno, I think they have the problem of, you know, trying to work that hard in each and every round doesn't really make sense. We have so many good players. Everyone can hold angles. Let's not throw away rounds doing things that are overly aggressive when we don't have to. But that doesn't work at this level. It just doesn't. It just doesn't look good. Most of the rounds are going to get outplayed. So it's good to see G2 kind of, it feels like playing that style again, where they're trying to work just as hard, but now they have even more talent.
Undeniable how much talent they have. We've heard
It's Device, right?
Pardon?
It was Device who said that G2 most firepower in Europe?
I want to say it was. Yeah, I was just trying to recall before I put a name to it, but I know it was a player on Astralis talking about that they may have it. That G2 may have the most firepower in Europe, but it's just a matter of success. It's a matter of results. Remember when that initial few matches we saw at G2 when niko was just added, how scary
it was insane.
I thought we were about to see a takeover.
They're headed for top 1 instantly.
Yep.
But after these last last week or so. It's unclear.
There's question marks.
It's unclear what's if they actually shown improvement. But of course, there's still time to tell. I mean, it's always better to have a honeymoon period than to not, right? Maybe teams start to figure out like how to play against niko on G2, made that their primary threat in the tournament, studied them a lot, made it hard for G2 to get anything out of it.
There was also that back and forth between jaCkz and jaCkz and who was going to be the 5th during that time period as well, right? I think like that could have also arguably destabilized things a bit. So
yeah.
I'm trying to sympathize with G2 at the moment.
Kind of felt like
give them that.
Whatever the one tournament was that Almanac played in right after.
Yeah.
Where it was like do or die for him. It was basically this tournament versus the next one that jaCkz played in.
Yeah.
Almanac fragged out. Like he was playing more CS than he ever has, you could tell.
Man, it's top tier. I'm just waiting for Hunter to jump back into the server just to keep you guys in the loop.
But recently, I feel like I'm going to take a look at Almanac's last few matches because I think he's not been extremely lights out like he was in that. The problem is, I think the thing is for Almanac over jaCkz is that, yeah, he's actually had a series of negative ratings since.
Is Almanac alive? Okay, there we go.
A series of negative ratings starting with DreamHack Masters winter. So he had an insane streak at, let's see the tournament here, at the fall series. That was at the fall series. Basically, he went 7 maps of positive ratings, like up to like 1.2 on average, something like that. And then right after that, everything was in the red. Every single rating. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 11 games in the red. And I'm talking like 0.7, 0.6 in the red. So whatever happened in between Fall Series and DreamHack Masters is a big mystery. But here's a chance to bounce back. Headphones are coming on.
It's a good sign.
Whips them on.
Kenny S versus Big last night.
Yeah.
1.08, 1.29, and
Yeah.
1.31 ratings across that series. That was, in my opinion, and based on stats, the most consistent 3-map series we have seen from Kenny S.
And how long?
In quite some time.
Scroll through.
If I go back and, I mean, what normally we have is like strong performances, but then he's in the red for one. You know, versus Furia, we get 2 maps over 1.0, and then he has a 0.62. Goes 7 and 15 on that case. Same thing again. And you know what? Versus Furia and versus Na'Vi, both those red numbers, well, they come in on nuke. 7 and 15 versus Furia, 9 and 17 versus Na'Vi, 0.62, 0.51. Just kind of, you know, not that key piece 3 maps in a row. Versus Big, that was not the case.
Well, that'll be an interesting one. We got a new coming up next.
Exactly. A question mark around Kenny S. But last night's performance was something to talk about. Funny enough, the last time that we saw Kenny S with 3 ratings above 1.0 in a 3-map best of 3, well, it was all the way back in October versus Big.
Versus Big?
He's got their number.
Oh, okay. Just likes playing versus Big. That's interesting.
Also, Dust 2 is our second map. Nuke is our decider.
Even though G2, I thought his Inferno was struggling. So he had one struggle-some match versus Furia, 7 and 16, 0.49 rating. But apart from that, in his last 5 Inferno games, he's been above a 1 point, lowest 1.8, 1.08, highest 1.38. And they've lost 4 straight. So I guess Kenny has really just been a lot more comfortable on Inferno in general. And always an interesting matchup for Kenny, specifically versus Astralis, because as he mentioned in our interview that I asked him, who's your favorite player who's not Kenny S? And he said, Device. He said Device he feels like has been the best opera for a long time, for many years now is what he said. And that he always watches his demos. Of course, Device has very easy to watch demos, very palatable. So, you know, positionally perfect play.
Sure.
PPP.
Device is easy on the eyes in the server. Always in the right place, always at the right time. What was your video today?
Did Bubski on Nuke.
Ooh.
He'll be coming in next map.
Relevant if we get there.
Yeah. He's been very good. I'd say so. I think he played 4 maps on Nuke so far. 2 maps, not extraordinary ratings. Both maps that I think they won 3 out of 4 maps, and 2 maps he had, you know, really good performances. The last one yesterday or the day before was versus Mouse Sports. They owned him 16-5. Bubsky had this eco 4K with the AK outside. When I watched the last demo in that Mouse Sports game, he only pushed ramp twice in the whole half.
Okay, look at
Apart
this.
from that,
We've got the replay.
oh my God, dude.
You talk about it,
Wow.
we've got it.
How the hell?
Anybody got an extra PS5?
He handled these 3 50-50 duels after getting this flank with perfection. Destroyed Frozen, who was playing really well on the map, and it made them look really dumb. They were all just trying to trade this one guy out in the 4v2, and he killed them all. So you could see the firepower, the reason why they wanted to try him out, and I think he played ramp with a lot of discipline and looked very good. I think he's fitting in quite nicely.
Zonic, congratulations. Yesterday, winning Coach of the Year
Yeah,
at the Games Awards.
yeah. It's gotta be.
Another trophy for his shelves. He's got 2 backboards.
Yes, he's trying to fill out the screen behind him.
The solution was a vertical camera.
You said you're selling a PS5?
No, stop. Stop
Because dupreeh
spreading
wants
those.
to buy one.
Stop spreading that news, man. I've got one.
Yeah,
It's stashed.
You said you were going to turn your back on Cyberpunk, so.
I refunded it today.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Are you gonna? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna buy it on the PS5?
I'm gonna build a new computer
Okay. Okay.
in the coming months.
Listen, this guy, he makes enough money to like own a. This is literally our job is to play games and stuff, right? And he has like he's a 3060. NVIDIA, are you listening to this? He has a 3060.
I have a 1060.
Sorry, you have a 1060.
That's very different.
Oh my God. There's one thing you're gonna spend money on once every 3 years, Connor.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I did build this computer 2 years ago.
And you got a 1060 at the time.
2
which
years
is just
ago,
is an egregious offense.
we weren't casting as much as we are.
Oh, you weren't doing too hot back then? 1060?
1060
Okay.
is a good deal.
Anyways, I don't know what you're doing with all your money.
Buying PS5s.
Just make a bet out of it, jump in it. Is that what you do?
Roll around in it.
Roll around your money. Is that what you do? Buy a good computer. So he's complaining about playing Cyberpunk on his PC because his computer is bad, as if someone did that to him.
Well, that's
He did
why.
it to himself.
That's why we're gonna get that.
And now you
new-
refunded it.
Yeah.
And the other day you bought a stiletto knife on the Steam store and then refunded it just to give Gabe an extra $20. You refunded it like
Maybe
10
he needs
minutes
that
later.
money. It's called buyer's remorse, okay? What happened here, may I reiterate to everybody, is we were all
sound
hanging
worse
out.
when you say it. Go ahead.
We were all hanging out, and I'm like, you know what? Tonight's the night. I love skins. I love Counter-Strike skins. I'm just gonna be blunt.
Then why'd you refund it?
Because what I did was, over the last 2 weeks prior to that night, prior to the buying night, I had been checking out new sets of gloves. I wanted a second pair of gloves, all right? And I found that I really enjoyed the Hydra gloves.
He's lying. He's taking too long.
I can't remember what the mangroves. Hydra mangroves. I've been hyping them up. They match my AKs really nicely. I'm gonna go, I want to be that guy who's got CT-sided and T-sided gloves. So I bought them. And I was so happy with my purchase. You know, it's a few $100s, but I'm like, damn, I look good now.
Okay.
And I'm walking around the server checking out my gloves, but then I'm riding that high, you know, like a maniac. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I need a new knife too.
Yeah.
And I just bought a stiletto knife because I used to have one, had traded it away. I wanted that back, so
You
I
talked
bought
about
that.
how much you liked it before you already had it.
And then I had buyer's remorse. I was in the server checking it out, and I'm like, I actually didn't want this. The second hit of that high was not as good as the first one. So yeah, I gave Gaben $20 and said, take this off me.
Could have just held on to it, see if the price went up, try to make back your money instead of instantly.
You know what I used with that money? I bought Cyberpunk.
He refunded as if he didn't have any money left over to buy Cyberpunk. But okay, we're back into the game.
We're back into the game, and it's G2 who don't have enough money. They've got just a few upgraded pistols here, 2 sets of Kevlar smoke grenade, trying to keep Astralis off a second round, but odds are low. And Astralis off of the pause are not going to waste any time here, but there's 4 CTs in position. Oh, and niko, he's going to give it to them the moment they come around that corner, not to mention Hunter still on the half wall. niko, he's going to get himself the second deagle kill until Hunter comes in with the CZ, and on top of oranges, what a nice delayed play from Nexa. It's going to put the pressure on jaCkz, and currently he's getting pinched. Whether he knows it or not, that second CT at the base of Banana now buying time. Check out Hunter hiding in construction. Just sitting in there.
Well, it's not every day you see Astralis get ecoed.
You can barely see him. And they haven't finished the eco, but hot damn, is it close.
Here's the ideal play. jaCkz walks 3 CT spawn all the way to A. He would go unnoticed. He just doesn't know. He thinks they're holding construction, watching the cross in some form or fashion. And now he's going to walk it back this way, and he's going to get caught completely off guard. Nobody has flanked. It is not every day you see jaCkz lose to somebody holding a flank that way. But it's a good play. Lots of discipline there. Hunter is playing it nice and safely. They lock it up. An eco versus Astralis.
Hunter and nexa. This whole time, nexa is sitting on top of
I can't believe he sits in this. The molly lands on him late. So if the molly had landed on him before he had made contact with and saw anybody, before he had seen anybody, then I think he would have fallen back. But he was already in the middle of the engagement, so it made a lot of sense to stay up there. I believe you refunded Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did it.
But anyways, I'm over it.
It might go on sale in the meantime. Save $20.
That nade is very valuable. How much is the one headshot dink damage from an M4? God, English is so hard.
That was a tough one, right?
Yeah.
91.
Magisk, one of the best B entries in the world, will get shut down by one of the best B holders in the world. That's niko.
Kenny S not even moving, but when that smoke pops, he does lay down one shot and gets a kill with it. Glaive, trusty ump is his, but Kenny S, he's able to find himself a second kill on this one. G2 CT side is starting to heat up.
Yeah.
And it's very good for them that it comes off of the back of that eco because the economy is flourishing. They didn't lose much in that last one. And here in the 8th, they've got themselves versus pistols. This is a nice setup. Excuse me, nexa just sitting back on new box.
Wow, that whole round was crazy. Like, because there was no attention at B, Astralis decided to move into the B exec really quickly in case G2 were doing some kind of foray early on. And then Kenny S was over at B the entire time for that whole beginning of the round. Perfect. Shut down that entry with niko. Magisk will look for a peek for himself. niko will take him out. And yeah, this is the counter half buy, I guess. They're not investing fully. jaCkz does spend all his money on this AK. Everybody else will just have deagle and nades. And Astralis have still the option to try to go into some kind of exec here. But look at this, the resmoke from way back. No one's even here to watch it to see if they're getting bracket control or not. But it does its job. The T's whimper away, and now CT sitting in sight. We'll see how this setup holds. They tried to get a rotation, but G2 don't move a muscle. They won't flinch.
Amanek looking down short side. That utility makes him a little bit nervous about balcony. He's going to move over into the little pit, and Glaive, well, he tries to fall back around the smoke, but Kenny's going to catch him. And then Kenny extends, loses his head, and opens a route of exit for Astralis. If they want to go contest that CT spawn, but with 25 seconds left on the clock, Hunter's going to have to turn his attention to Library. 2 players from Astralis up short. Amanek makes that first contact, doesn't hit a shot. Hunter's still unknown to the T side, but it is just Deagles trying to come up short, and while jaCkz kills the player inside of the site, that is what they needed. Device with the Deagle kill. Goes ahead, grabs a second AK. Now we've got all 4 remaining players on rifles. Flashbang from jaCkz. Nexa walks in slowly alongside niko. They've made no sound here, and they're right on the cusp of the site. The element of surprise. jaCkz dives back down into the cover, and as he goes up off of the flash, niko locks in to give G2 their 7.
Damn near nails it, but this is a round G2 should have won every day of the week. They come through, it comes close. Really nice attempt from Astralis. They caught Kenny off guard, they got onto the site, but ultimately G2 hold their nerve, and the retake comes through, and yeah, they just whittled down until the 1v1. Here is the opening kill. That was really great how they got Hunter into that spot. Amanek missed a few shots from the pit towards Arch, but after that they figured it out. And here it is, the final 1v1. He doesn't even move a muscle when it comes to the flash, and even has time to dodge it after the fact.
timeout off of the back of that one.
I mean,
Astralis trying to find answers.
You know what? It's a good round from G2. Everything they did, they just like got the opening kill. They knew it was an ecoing round. They stayed in the 2-3. They didn't falter to the fake when it came to the B nades. They decided to just chill. Out of that though, Astralis get a lot of damage, a lot of good kills. So this is one game where I think we've seen like, you know, Astralis slow start. I think like the Gambit games or whatever. But there were some rounds it felt like Gambit may have gotten lucky to get that start. And then Astralis took control of the game. In this game, it feels like G2 are doing a lot of good things, making a lot of the right plays. And I don't think it's exactly clear that Astralis will somehow work their way back in. So far, it feels like the only thing that could stop the CT side is if they just go back to not doing anything. If they lose proactivity. But look at them. They're already taking overhauls. They still are a little bit weaker in B at the moment. But they're trying to make the read that Astralis will try to take overhauls in the default. And they're right about it. Not only that, but they've got insurance. They have 2 people here at the end of long haul. They get the opening kill once again. Things are looking very good for G2.
It's really nice to see G2 just not sitting back. Rather, keeping things active. Not letting Astralis slot in.
I would bet money they absolutely talked about stuff to fix on their CT side.
When I look at this G2 roster, I just think to myself, like, they've got the players and the firepower to make plays. And maybe when the game's not going well for them, they start to shy away from that. But when it is going well, it would be a shame if they stopped and shot themselves in their own foot. Keep up this pressure.
Halls is a good call out. We just had 3 G2 players in here, but they got their kill, they left. And now the back of Halls is actually a weak point on the setup. But kennyS will start to move back to try to take care of this. Molly comes down, cancels out half of the smoke. And Astralis gets smoked out of middle too. There are answers here for G2.
Utility starting to curb back Astralis. 20 seconds, so they have to make their move. kennyS inside of the site. He does lose his teammate, but then trades it. Oh, he gets dinked, though. Device through that mid-box, hitting him 2 times. Hunter comes through smoke, stops the bomb carrier. There is still enough time to recover. Yet another 2 versus 2 moment here on the A site in the post plant. Incendiary goes down mid-site, Device extinguishes that, and Nexa comes out of library off of the back of the timing. Now there's one flash here between the 2 G2 players. It's niko and Nexa yet again. Last time this was an easy sweep, but oh, gla1ve, he gets aggressive. And he's going to take down niko's head. gla1ve, if he peeks out, he could die himself, but at least now he's got that confirmation. Time's ticking pretty quickly, and Nexa, moments of hesitation means he concedes. Astralis, they will find their second round.
No big mistake here. There might be a punish in the save. He's walking away from the angle, finds the headshot. gla1ve is a little bit low in the pit, but he's doing okay. Bomb planted middle of the site there, and Nexa will walk away with his gun. This is a good round from Astralis. It honestly comes down to this one trade from Device through the box. We see jaCkz get the kill through the smoke as well on Almanac, and here it is. Look at this shot. Through the head into kennyS, and then ends with a body shot, but it's an instant headshot as well. I think kennyS played this extraordinarily well. He got the incendiary on the fallback. He got into the site. He got his kill in mini pit to trade off that random smoke frag from jaCkz as he just put shots down range. But G2, they didn't show themselves, and their player on site did a good job of staying alive. So Astralis had to work hard there, but it's another round where G2, they get an opening kill right here. They get the 5v4. They have a decent setup, and they even have the good rotations to respond to the exec. So I think if you're G2, just honestly continue to hold your nerve. Things still look pretty good. I picked Astralis to win this game. I thought it would be 2-0. I thought Inferno would be a stomp, but honestly, at least for this map, if I could change my prediction, I probably would, because it feels like G2 definitely have fixed some stuff. They look really good. I wouldn't be worried if I were them looking at this last round. But that being said, Almanac and niko are down to just pistols. So economically, this will be trying. Yeah,
this could be the breakthrough moment for Astralis. Like you said, G2, they look so good at the moment. And they go right back into the previous round setup. This is where we saw kennyS catch a kill through balcony, but there was never anybody to confirm that there was 3 CTs in here off the bat.
I feel like they've not used this before. I really haven't seen this 3-hall setup. I'm really a big fan of their 4-lane stack that they do.
Yeah.
This is something different.
Slightly different look.
Look at this, like, Trillium setup.
Well, could work out wonderfully. It's going to be 3 Ts by the looks of it walking in. And think back to that pop out from the balcony in previous rounds. I mean, it absolutely makes sense that G2 get ahead of this. 5-7, good for 1. Hunter trades, but Magisk, well, he's maintained. And then Kenny misses a shot. That could have been the easy 3 versus 2 because that T was running with nothing but nades out. And Magisk, he presents his head on a silver platter. If Device can't get the better of this B player, then suddenly it looks like G2 back to winning ways. But niko, he fades into the depths of this site and hides behind the new box. He's got teammates coming over. Nexa with a flashbang. Not quite in position yet. And niko, he's just trying to buy that time. Nobody's covering glaive. He comes off of the bomb plant. That is a mistake. They assumed it was clear and a near collateral spray for Device, but that's not going to come into fruition. It's G2 in position with another winning round.
See, very good. They use the same hall setup again. It works out beautifully. Even though they only have the pistol, they get the first kill, some extra damage here on Magisk, and then even though Kenny misses a shot, they've got outs. They can fall back. They had Hunter in the pit take over, and then niko, of course, plays the spot beautifully. They can go and try to clear it out, but they just decided to gamble, you know, clearing out quad. They just assumed because there's some pistols involved that G2 were going to try to just full stack, and they didn't hear a noise, and so they took the risk on low time. They didn't have a molly either for quad. And now G2 kind of right back into the driver's seat. There are only 2 AKs here for Astralis. Very, very impressive game so far from G2.
One of the pistol players down early. Was curious to see if G2 would come into this one and finally decide to go more passive, but not with that initial banana clash, clearly.
They got the kill they wanted.
So they retreat into the bomb site. niko, he's going to be off the coffin. Gets a face full of lead. Delivered by glaive. Nexa now in the same position that niko won the last round from. Nexa, he gets around the box, cuts down the first AK. 2 pistol players able to trade, and that weapon gets picked right back up. Hunter, he's going to go onto the half wall. Spotted out by the players in the depths of the site, so a man advantage made off at the back of that one. And Astralis, they only had 2 AKs at the start of this round, but it may have been enough. G2 still in a winnable position. zywoo very much just locked in on coffins, and he's going to be able to get there in the end.
The economy
almost dies, and Kenny, oh no. He's been taken down to half health, 20 HP as he escapes for the A site. A 3rd round here to the T side.
Oh, that's not a good sign. A couple of easy shots being missed by Kenny. Pretty good impact, but yeah, that's a little bit off. It was a nice try. Actually, a ridiculous opening kill from glaive to get into the B site, plus the second trade as well. Kenny threw some supporting flashes into B before Nexa peak from quad. They were there just in time, and actually the second flash, they're full blind. But dupreeh gets this really randy 1D and they get in, and that's all that happens. But of course, that's just the nature of the site. Sometimes things like that are going to happen. But once again, G2, it looks like they're playing it well. They have control of things. But at this point in the half, we're just talking about pure numbers. No one's going to care, you know, how and in which fashion the rounds are won. 8-3 at the moment, and a G2 have 4 pistols to support Kenny. Oh, the alt push. That's looking like a perfectly timed push. Yeah, they won't even know Hunter had gotten by.
I'm all aboard.
Wonder how long he stays here.
Hunter's unleashed for this one. You can see the banana players on high alert.
Oh, it's an unnerving moment here for Hunter.
Yeah, you can hear the footsteps getting closer, but he's still got a good corner. glaive gonna get a face full of deagle, and then Magisk trades that one back. So considering that was an unarmored deagle, I think G2 happy to take it.
Yeah, they're happy about that.
And if they push up here into banana, then they just need to be wary about Device. He's been left in this pocket play.
They did not.
Yeah, 2 CT. Oh, Nexa! I saw him clearing that first corner as Kenny came in, like they were aware of it, but I didn't know how sharp he was gonna be.
Oh, look, and they shut down the lane split as well. They'll push the smoke down. zywoo will try to wrap. They'll smoke Moto to take attention away from him, and someone might rotate in. This is zywoo's chance, but they're playing it cool. Oh, they clear him too. That's actually beautiful.
They are checking everything. G2 not making mistakes. And there is tons of damage that goes the other way. dupreeh, this is still a winnable position. He just needs to run to the B bomb site. Throw caution to the wind and go, my friend. But he stops and doubles back. And that's going to bring him into the numbers of G2. Defense opts to split. KennyS opts on short. amonic floating here with the 5-7. dupreeh, he concedes a 9th round from G2. Not the first round we see them win with just pistols.
No, this is definitely the G2 we love to watch. So, yeah, that's good. dupreeh will save his AK. Everything works out well. This is kind of lucky, of course, because Glaive, he's not in the angle that he totally expects. But Nexa here, as we were talking about, from the coffins, he was kind of holding that, waiting for Device. Device does sneak up into that position sometimes. It seemed like this time he was going to get away with it. It felt like the op was going to cross in farther, but you saw Nexa was making sure Kenny could always keep watching right while he cleared everything on the left. And it shows in all of these different moments in the round. They're being very aware of all these potential pocket plays that Astralis can pull, even with zywoo getting in to the side of the library door. So full strength round both ways. Astralis will jump into halls. There's nothing too tricky here from G2. They'll actually they'll just kind of overstack towards the A site. B is somewhat open. And we'll see if they try to reclaim mid or if they just play back and wait. Double up on Arch. Yep, they're coming to get that info, but it's Pit that's been taken over.
Two players lock in, hoping amonic goes for the peek. Ooh, he's jiggling with it, trying to draw them further forward. Flash is there for the face of dupreeh, and a CT Molotov on top of Hunter. That is not ideal. Not in any world. Hunter's able to dive back. Spam shots coming through. He returns the fire. Magisk gets the headshot, and Kenny's going to trade it. Smoke fading to give Kenny a line of sight. But Astralis, they've got that bomb down, and they are very much locked into Pit with a smoke on top of it. And then Glaive finding the headshot through.
Damn, they mollied Hunter in the back of the site in cold. He had to smoke himself out and then jump back on the box just to try to deny the plant. Falls off and dies. That's a pretty big mistake for such a small move in that tactic. Now, taking over Pit, good call. No one from G2 in halls. Amonic alone. They kind of dealt with him really well. They didn't kind of try to rush him down. They just made him scareder and scareder. Slowly closed off his angle. And even though a flash came in, they had just enough time to deal with it. But this is a 4 alive round here from Astralis, and the tactic is, of course, get in Pit, kill everyone in Pit, fight from here.
Damn, 2-bullet burst.
They've got some crazy shots off. Now, Kenny did ask for that.
Yep.
He did put a shot through the smoke himself.
Half of the rounds for Astralis by way of blasting out balcony. Catching G2 with it every once in a while, but
it's getting pretty tense here in the final moments, trading back and forth for the last 5 rounds. Oh, and KennyS puts that op to work.
Yeah, a little upset about that last round. He seeks revenge right off of the bat, and sure enough, he finds it. This is another one, though, where, remember, G2, they are not fully equipped.
Yeah, but I feel like they're so good on the hat. Feels like I'm talking about G2 from a few months ago, which is great. They're so good on the half buys. They show a lot of ingenuity when they have like a mix buy like this. I think this is what makes Nexa the caller that he is. At the moment, Astralis are still sniffing out the exploitable position, wrapping through Arch. But G2, they're being proactive. They push down Banana. They call out this play. So we'll see if the rotation's here in time. But Astralis look like they're primed to execute. Amonic could make the play of the hour. Yeah, it's a Zeus, but it might be important. Oh, Nexa, he'll find the bomb at steps. Look at this.
They have everything they need. Unless Device somehow brings this back in a miraculous fashion.
Another half-buy win.
zywoo, he's all that's left over, and he too toppled by Nexa. G2 getting double digits off of the back of another round where they don't even have a full buy.
I'm loving this. I think that's so cool. I was really... didn't expect this. Great shot from Kenny to start things out. Of course, that makes things a lot more precarious. Dodging the flash perfectly, taking advantage of that, and then Nexa finding a great shot bottom of mid. Yesterday, Nexa, he bottom fragged on Inferno. Did not have a great game at all.
Talking about bottom fraggers, we have Device right now.
Now he's 17-4.
Device is 6-13. It's got to be one of the quietest halves we've seen from Device in some time.
Yeah. I want to say, like, it's been all about these really great setups.
Final attempt here from Astralis on the T side. A map that we thought was going to go the way of the Danes, taking into consideration the losing spree of G2. But this is something different. This was dynamic. This was confident. He's had a multitude of different setups, and it's been nothing but impressive from G2 Esports. kennyS going to drop a shot here towards mid. That could have been the 5v4 in the 15th round. A little bit of utility usage over the rooftops versus the A site. That keeps 3 CTs locked in, but we see that bomb instead sneaking up banana. So it's zywoo up in the apartments and everybody else for Astralis looking to take down this B bomb site. CTs have just boosted a player up into the new box. It's niko. And once that fire fades,
He's a god from this spot.
he's going to have a lot of pressure put on him. We'll see what he delivers. Nexa, one and done. And, oh, niko sprays into the second player off of the flash. He does not decide to peek, and zywoo dunks one on him. Bomb needs to be recovered. There's only 10 seconds to spare, and dupreeh on 10 HP definitely doesn't help. The longer they wait, the closer G2 get to banana. And another, up shot from kennyS, taking players down bit by bit. It's Hunter's final hit that gives G2 an 11th, and Astralis will start that defensive half with a measly 4 rounds.
It's time for another installment of the CS Money Higher or Lower. I have an absolute pleasure of having Amore join me for this one. This is how it will work. We're going to be showing you 2 skins on your screen. Now, all you've got to do is tell me whether the one without a price is worth more or less than the skin with one.
Let's go.
We're going to be starting off with 20 euros, and we're going to be having a Desert Eagle code red. Is it worth more or less than 20 euros?
I will sell less.
Unfortunately not. 30 euros it's worth. We're going to be going over to the scouts, this time the big iron.
It's for sure it's lower, like there is no way, like.
There is no way, Amore, because you are right, it is indeed lower. It's only worth around 10 euros. And of course we've got the bullet rain coming up next.
I will say a little bit higher.
You are indeed correct. 15 euros, and we're going to be putting it up against the head splattering kill confirmed.
And I think it's up higher.
You are indeed right. It's worth on average 72 euros. So you got 3 points already. You're doing very well. So we've got the kill confirmed coming up next against the M4A1S Player 2, a very fun skin.
I think there is a lot of this M4 in the market, so I will say lower.
And you would be correct in saying lower. The AWP Containment Breach, a very green skin.
I will say like lower than the beautiful silencer.
Unfortunately, it's not. It's almost double the price.
No way.
It's a USPS skin, and it's the target acquired.
But for me, it's lower.
Unfortunately, it's not. It's actually higher.
It's not possible. There is a trick somewhere.
Something you might be a fan of is an Avaro knife, and it is the Boreal Forest.
Higher, but it's really close.
It is incredibly close, and it is just slightly lower at 50 euros. An iconic Glock Fade.
For sure, it's higher.
You're indeed right. It is a lot more at over 2,000 euros. It's a Glock Fade versus the M9 bayonet knife in Lore.
I think it's lower.
Some good logic there, Amore, and you are indeed right. Only around 827 euros on average. This time, it is going to be the AK-47 Wild Lotus going up against our bayonet knife, but which one is more expensive?
But I will say like lower.
It is actually higher. The average price of this is over 1,000 euros. Yeah, I'm surprised.
I lose my mind.
That does net you 6 points out of 10. You got over 50%, Amore, so I respect that. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us for the CS Money Higher or Lower.
Thank you. No problem.
Nexa taking over the scoreboard at an 18-5 scoreline and an 11-4 lead for G2. This does not feel like the G2 of yesterday, Mohan.
Not at all. Not a G2 of the last couple weeks. This is the G2 this is definitely a better version of them. And I think it's catching Astralis off guard. And you could look at this as Astralis making a lot of mistakes in that first half, But for me, for my money, I would say G2, they just put on a new face from the last time that they went head-to-head, and it caught Astralis off guard, and it was too much to handle because they actually had a lot more variety than we've seen. I've never seen that hall setup where we had KennyS in the middle and 2 extra guys in the halls, and they used that on 2 separate rounds as well, and it caught off the hall setup. So every time Astralis played something new, they got caught off guard a little bit. And so I actually feel like giving a lot of credit here to G2 as opposed to taking away from Astralis. They had a lot on their plate. I think this makes the next time they play Inferno very interesting versus G2 CT side. But now we'll see what happens on CT. Opening kill for Device. Very ambitious setup here at the bottom of Banana. And
It's Magisk at a distance.
He's been shooting hot.
Sees the shoulder. Molly burns him into the open. That's where AMONEK's going to drop him. So 2 versus 5 attempt here for G2. May not be the fastest of closes. Ooh, zywoo. He saw that skin. zywoo pops up regardless of knowing he's there. AMONEK trying to lock in on this, and sure enough, he'll get that kill, but he swaps out to the bomb. dupreeh catching him off guard with a little bit of aggression, and we have Astralis looking to stabilize here on their CT side. A pistol round win is big. Device, nice one tap. Magisk also adding one here from Banana, as we saw niko try to go for those jumps, and then Glaive taking one before he burned in the open. So just nice, clean headshots from the USPs to give Astralis their 5th.
Well, we know Zonic loves having 4 rounds. So we'll see if we can find out why. We got the pistol round to kick it off. They're out on the T side, and we'll see if the T side from G2 has changed as well. And this has also not been an incredibly good side for them, but better, much better than their CT side, in terms of stats.
I say, like, if we had to see changes somewhere from G2,
it was in that first half.
More on CT side. I gotcha. And G2, well, they've been gotten by Device. Goes ahead and grabs 3 kills down alt mid. Only Hunter left over, and he dies at the hands of dupreeh's MP9. So a 6-1 for Astralis pretty quickly, but don't forget, it's still a comfortable 5-round lead.
Comfortable. I think at this point, G2, they should always feel a little nervous. That's pretty cool.
Just hanging out.
I like that cinematic.
Lounging.
That was cool. All right, so buys in, and because Astralis didn't lose anybody, they actually, will keep on the 2 MP9s and a UMP, which are pretty big concessions. Best chance for G2 to keep the momentum high.
They're going to put out that fire immediately, try to kick up the tempo here, G2. And it is enough to convince Device back. Magisk comes out from Boiler, 2 kills for him. And dupreeh all the while helping out on Arch side. That's the bomb drop to the CTs, but niko, he kicks in the teeth of Device real quick.
That's a... Oh, no plant because the bomb is an archway.
Yes, sir.
I wonder with those last T's coming up mid-late if they were actually going to try to crunch towards B. And since they lose the bomb in this spot, yeah, they have to now have those guys entry over. Nobody's in vision right here.
That flash is all they had. zywoo is actually standing on top of the wooden pallet. The barrel of dupreeh has been seen. Clears close left, expecting dupreeh to swing, but dupreeh doesn't.
There's still library.
Now it's just the straight up 2v2. Yeah, library. That's the next point of contact. Glaive, he's inside here, and he just dunked it on KennyS. niko, he gets dupreeh a little bit closer to death, but dupreeh stands his ground. Astralis, they've got themselves that 7th. And G2, back to the drawing board.
Very well done with the trades that went down at Arch. There was a lot of chaos here when they turned the corner, of course. Magisk with the fast rotation over was what was most needed. Device fell back, Magisk came into play, flashes were there, and well played to protect that bomb at all costs. So 4 in a row to start, and things start to get very, very spicy. We've got G2 who, for the most part, have to full save. They'll invest a little bit into upgraded deagles, but that's it. They're basically going to try to hit shots this round. It's actually kind of shocking how many half-buys and nikos we saw Astralis lose to in that first half. But at the same time, I really think that that is what has separated nexa as an IGL apart from other people, is a lot of really cool half-buy setups.
Gotta be cautious when deagles are deadly. niko delivers.
Yeah, we remember the last time that G2, when they took Astralis to to overtime when we were casting it, it was niko had a really lights out T side where Astralis were going for bottom banana control a lot, and niko was flying out in front of their smoke and dueling them on B. And Magisk said, yeah, niko's a good player, but he felt like niko was taking a lot of weird peeks, but he could get away with it because of his aim. And that's something that's going to persist, right? It's not like his aim got worse today. And that'll always be a threat. So I made a video about Simple called, Simple goes above strategy. And I think the same thing can be applied to niko. He's one of those few players that no matter how good you are as a team, he can kind of break apart the game and make it just about how good he's feeling. A little bit of butt showing here on the corner of banana. zywoo will get some information.
Nexa a bit too thick for his own good. zywoo's hanging out on coffins. He's going to have 3 players over on the corner. M4 for KennyS. He's the last man in. They're looking to keep that rifle up. Hunter. Oh. 7 seconds, though. That's going to be the biggest issue. Magisk, he's just taking them down one after another, but AMNEX's desperation play to get a little more money pays off.
Sick stuff from Magisk to get those kills. Just enough of his teammates have died to allow that plant to go down safely. So it's a small victory here for G2. Overall, a very decent cleanup, though, for Astralis. Keeping 3 alive. Make sure they're at a surplus moving into this next round. And now we'll have another attempt on the rifle round for G2. Of course, they are on the T side. Things are a little bit cheaper. People do not need ops. On KennyS, I don't think will ever buy an op. He might pick it up if someone drops it for him on Inferno T side. And KennyS actually plays a huge support role on T side. Comes in, fourth, throws a lot of the grenades for their A execs. We're going to see a lot of flash assists, I think, from KennyS.
High pressure here on the arch side. This is walking right into the CTs. Damage being done. Glaive, he's been able to drop that bomb again, and the frag, perfect. On point. Nexa still in the corner, dies at the hands of Device. That deadly deagle coming in from both directions. And KennyS, well, he needs support now. He's all that's left over with 8 HP. They tried to go arch yet again, Launders.
Yeah.
And they got shut down.
They did, yeah. The Astralis' nades versus this arch hit have been pretty beastly, right? The incendiary to fall back, the HEs. It's mostly been Glaive's impact grenades. They've been so good, kind of combat grenades that have come in and stopped these rushes in their tracks. The game plan is not so bad. Astralis have been focusing on getting banana control, as we know that they do. So that usually leaves arch open. But the player who's at the top of mid falling back through arch is not getting caught off in that initial peak. And then by the time they fall back, they have just enough space that they can throw these grenades and make the rushes collapse. And so that's what we're seeing. So I'm kind of surprised G2 tried the same thing again. But Astralis, I think, at this point have shown that they've got a strong enough defense versus this type of exec that G2 have to try something new. So here we're seeing they're really locked up in all these grenades, right? The flash that comes through, we have the HE that lands in the corner, the Molotov that makes it, that stops any forward progress from that point on. And they know that once they turn that corner, that incendiary goes down, the round is done if they don't have that kill already. They cannot run through the Molotov, the rotations are going to come in. And now Astralis are on fire, 9-11. We have a hell of a match. I don't think it's over by any means. I think Astralis have shown a good face so far with a pistol and these 2 rifle rounds. But now's where G2 have to show us that their game plan can evolve a little bit.
Got to see something different. Arch lockdown, clear as day.
Unless for some reason they think they messed something up on that initial entry, I think there's no chance they try that again for the next couple rounds. We'll see if they want to try to test banana a little bit more at first.
At least for G2's sake, they are back into the realm of back-to-back buys. So we don't have to wait to see a different face. And it's Hunter who shows his head here in the apartments, catching Magisk, giving G2 a man advantage. Now, how do they make the most of this? You can see Astralis maybe a bit conditioned towards this consistent arch play, move zywoo over. Device sees the utility. He gets tagged up by that frag, finding himself on 54 points of health.
Well, that's definitely scary for Astralis. Device left alone for a second.
Glaive is the one to come over. Again, G2 met by utility, and they go one better.
Whoa,
Glaive, he doesn't just come over to help, he comes over to kill. And niko, half health, he sees the head over on the logs. This is heavy presence. Device through the wall. Astralis, maybe on a different day, could have just sat back and allowed G2 to make their move, but instead they take the initiative. And oh, does it work. Now what? 40 seconds on the clock. G2 still with enough utility to justify the execute, and Astralis, they are split down the middle. There is nothing other than a single flash here for the members of Astralis. And it's going to have to be Glaive. Throws that out, goes for the peek on his own accord, jumps up, looks to play between the smokes. 3 Ts on the other side. He shaves AmaNEk off of the play, never even saw the man. Device comes in with the deagle. If he dies, that's the B site open. He's able to get back into construction. 5 seconds left. They need this bomb plant now. And if Device swings, Kenny would be dead, but he doesn't. And Kenny is now back up on a full bar of health, hoping that Device walks into this. But he's lost his teammate. Kenny has to be everything, and it's not going to happen. Astralis, they've got double digits. They've got that B retake, and they've got themselves a flawless CT side so far.
Let's take a look at how Glaive plays this on Banana, because he takes the first duel, and then he doesn't even fall back to the site. He swings out left. And you're looking at this and you're thinking, in this moment, he gets the opening duel, he could easily fall away. Device is quite far back. Of course, this is the opening to make it 5v4, and where it got scary, because we had the nade landed Device's feet, the flash go his way. They missed this opening, but the re-aggression was perfect, the flash assist from a Device, and then Glaive commits so hard until Device finally gets there, and it's not even a random empty shot through the half wall. He sees niko's head and tracks him into the floor and puts him 6 feet under. 10-11, and Astralis are working their heart out to get back into this half, and it's going very well. That's crazy. Nothing bad about the way G2 played it. It was just all full credit to Astralis for coming back after losing the opening kill. kennyS will find a pick in this round as well. Oh, and the flank into Hunter. Oh, he's going to be mad about that one.
Back-to-back rounds where we've seen G2 on a 5v4.
Yeah, look at the damage that's been done. Unconfirmed damage here by the HEs.
zywoo is the only player at this B site, and he just got smoked off. Here's the footwork crossing over. Buys his time.
He's got no nades to work with, so
ouch.
He's just going to play it back, yeah.
Half his health gone. That's a good return in terms of damage.
We've got full... Wait a second. Are they actually turning away from this? Whoa, they left B completely open and then fall out?
That's a save.
I'm shocked. I didn't think that they would have zywoo play there if they weren't prepared for that kind of retake, because what were they expecting to get out of the round in case it was B? They really didn't expect G2 to try to enter B right away, and that's where I think the unconfirmed damage comes into play, right? If they knew their HEs had so much impact early on niko and Kenny, you know, maybe zywoo shoots there, maybe they try for the retake, but they're probably a little bit threatened by the fact that they're straight up 4 players alive.
Oh, they can still cut a couple off of this. Looking like the double peek. Oh, that's fantastic for Astralis.
That's enormous punish, yeah. At least the op gets saved. Everyone else can buy rifles, but they might be a little bit low on grenades. And yeah, that's just a perfect way to just show exactly how that happens. That is huge.
Not the face of a man who won a round.
Hunter goes back to what worked on the last round, trying to punish Magisk for coming into Boiler. And Astralis find a new way to get that kill. Things get very, very scary now here for G2. AmaNEk on his golden gun, the MAC-10.
Grenade inside of the boiler room at the perfect time in the execute. That could be costly in terms of health.
These flashes.
Magisk, he's going to lock down that bomb first and foremost. dupreeh sitting inside the graveyard stairs, pops up, sees Nexa. He's got a helping hand in zywoo, but that didn't work. It was Magisk with the USP to catch the kill inside of sight. dupreeh catching one, jumping towards pit. Hunter trades, and there's a second CT here on top of Scooter. They've lost track of Device. Hunter. Oh, he's gonna die to it, and Device dives back behind the cover. He's got niko hot on his heels. Device, one deke, and Astralis with an 11th.
Damn, taking out the trash with that 1 deke. That is beautiful. Actually, man, this is such a good round from G2. Again, another fast trash. The continuation flashes to come in. The smokes are disabling dupreeh from being able to find a duel for that entire time, and then Device comes through with a 1-on-2 situation. Could have easily died through the smoke. The confidence to peek out the right side and hit that 1D on niko is enormous. That is a crazy round to win. This was one where Nexa had a Mac 10, or where Omnek had a Mac 10. I think Nexa only had a deagle to work with.
Aggression up into the alt mid. They want no space to be given here to G2, but kennyS and niko, yeah, they're going to force it off of you. And dupreeh, well, he's lucky to be alive at this point.
This is a hot match, man. All bets are off.
And they're not able to control the weapons either. So M4 here into the hands of Kenny. He's over towards balk. niko on a deagle. I mean, what else does the man really need? Ooh, maybe a headshot. But Glaive trying to get out of cover here. He knows the threat.
Honestly, Glaive is locked in. He's playing with so much confidence. He's doing all the aggressive moves that you want him to do. He's hitting his shots.
You know, I put Device's stats under a microscope during that first half as we saw Astralis struggle, but he is right back up with the rest of his team now.
Yeah, I think they were getting disabled from like a team aspect. It was like such good rotation, such good tactics that G2 were employing. It was hard to even fault Astralis because of G2 were playing so well. But yeah, now the shoe is on the other foot. For sure.
Damn, Amanek was literally looking at the ground as he ran up, trying to dodge flashbangs. But instead, he should have been dodging bullets.
Well, you know what? This is the right site to go to. There's 20 seconds left. jaCkz is here. No, he either commits or plays this retake. He's going to peek into this, it looks like, maybe.
Yeah, niko, he's the first to cross. Down he goes. There's only 4 seconds to spare. So I'd say despair here for G2, but they respect them enough to let them have this bomb plant.
There's no one in time.
kennyS, he's only got 10 HP, but that op could still take Astralis down a peg.
Easily, he's opping. He has to make a
he's
play.
looked great. He is 20 and 12 at the moment, the top fragger for G2, and he's comfortably back by Nubox. A missed shot. Kenny dives back by Coffins, and it's zywoo to take him down. A clean sweep of the post plant here from Astralis. They give it over to them, and we see why. Clean protocol, clean execution, and a clean comeback here from the Danes. We are all tied up at 12.
Of course, with the op to work with, the round is a lot closer than it seems. kennyS hit the shot there. The round is open up entirely. The CTs will get really scared, but zywoo plays it well, nice and patiently. Looked scary when the bomb got planted in the open and no one was even rotated over yet, but Astralis handled it. kennyS missed his one chance to make it a 2v2. And now we're all tied up 12 to 12. We had that 1v1 from Device, 1v2 actually. We had another close round early on. And we've also had a 4v5 win from Astralis in the second half. And we can talk about, oh, G2, they're the ones playing bad now. No, I want to again give credit to Astralis. They are absolutely squeezing water from stone with some of these moves and looking really, really good as well. Hard to play against.
Solid bit of recovery. Just to remind y'all, there's a single round from G2 on this T side. It was an 11-4 half from G2.
Yeah, what they have to be careful about is losing confidence.
Yeah, agreed, because that's what really powered up most of their CT game plan.
Definitely.
Was the confidence to go for those 3-player apartment setups. The confidence to send niko running down banana.
So how they approach these next rounds will be really telling. We'll see if they slow it down at all. But the T side's definitely taking a pace. I think, you know, they have what it takes to fight on banana. That's something they can try to do. They haven't caught a situation where Device is solo opping on banana. I think once he's been opping within the bomb site, did a good job of delaying long enough for a rotation. But one thing that used to happen a lot more was just like the window flash from spawn into like through the smoke if they think Device is opping from car, and then just running him down all the way up to banana into the site and then trying to make him trade 1-for-1. We haven't seen any of those interactions happen this far, and I think Astralis are probably pretty weary of that.
Now little bit of a device highlight moment here for you guys. This was the pistol tap. First bullet of the CT side. Who knew that was a sign of things to come?
Like you said, return to form in the second half for device. And here's the highlight reel to show how he got there. These are the initial arch shutdowns, and then when he moved over to B, see that? He saw the head and tracked it down.
Damn.
Insane stuff.
Little parting gift in the post-plant moment, and then this 1v2.
This is the, this is the stop 13, right?
Yeah.
So
peeks out.
things would have absolutely got sketchy here. Look, he's not even sitting down.
Just slides it on him.
The emotional support puppy.
So, to keep you guys all in the loop,
Okay.
we're going to go ahead and have the players change server before we continue from the 12-12 scoreline, because that's going to take just a few minutes. We will just take a break. We're going to go to the pause, get some water. See you guys in a few minutes for the continuation of Astralis and G2. The 25th round is soon to come. Don't you worry.
Yeah, let's go the chicken. Chicken.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fall Games. I'm your host Maniac, and today we will be surfing. It's been my favorite event so far, and I cannot wait to see our competitors in action. First up is Valde.
Yeah.
Now the slick turn from Valde. He's fast. That's a good run, definitely.
This one is a new record. Can you see?
Next up is shox.
Please, a bit more.
It's not exactly the fastest, but
Okay, no,
that's better.
not bad.
He's got the speed now.
Bad.
Slow and steady does it.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's
You got it.
go.
You got it.
Yeah, let's go. The chicken. Chicken. I finished it. That's my record.
That's what matters.
That's my record.
Now we have tiziaN.
Blue button.
Oh, he's got that low angle as well. Good speed in the hole. You can see the mouse movement. He knows what he's doing. Well, he makes life a little bit hard, but it works.
Let's take that.
He was creative, that's the least we can say. Finally, it's electronics time.
Transfer.
The low profile to kick things off. Whoa, he's fast. He's really fast. Minimal movement. Maximum speed. Definitely a good timer.
I think this one is good.
Now let's have a look at the leaderboard.
And welcome back. The score is 12-12, the 25th round about to begin. Thank you for your patience. Just gonna get the buy all set up. And action.
Yes, it's been a hard-fought half, and Astralis have earned their way back in this half, and they have looked very, very good here on CT side. They shut down the game plan of G2. G2 have had to work hard to get here, and they'll have to work even harder to pull out these last 4 rounds. I do think it's still possible. Doesn't feel like they're just completely choking. I think it's, again, Astralis have just, full credit, been playing very, very well in the second half, and it'll just take some ingenuity from the G2 camp to come up with something new to try to catch them off guard. They found some opening kills, but the opening kills haven't resulted in rounds. Device has been a force in the clutches and with his op. glaive has been very, very confident and aggressive with the way that he's been peeking and fighting, and that's helped them in these 4v5 situations. And they haven't been able to make a lot of space on some of their fast rounds and bring it close enough, except for that half buy, which Device 1v2'd. So again, there's ways in. I think there's still hope for G2, but it certainly might not feel like that for them. We can see the whole map. They only have half the story.
Do we call that 1v2 the clutch of the map so far?
It could be the defining clutch for sure. Because, you know, with the 11-4 half... Ooh.
Kenny op.
Oh yeah, he actually had T-sides off. This is a rare occurrence for Kenny to T-side off.
And it
results in a kill because Device, he's gonna keep his guard down a little bit. Think he can go for something like that, not expecting Kenny to be there. Another 5v4.
We said we needed to see some adaptations from G2. Well, there's one. That's a different look.
I think he had it one other time this half. I don't know if he bought it himself. Actually, maybe he did. Maybe he did.
This, of course, not the first 5v4 we've seen from G2 that Astralis could still take back. Their 4v5 win percentage has been pretty high, it feels, on Inferno. But we're going to get a bit of aggression here from G2. Not wasting much time to get themselves into this B bomb site. Nobody's there to stop them. They're going to go for the boost, and that grenade from Nexa, well, I think that could have been way worse had it not banked off the wall, but it still seems to be enough to convince them to leave. Again, not the first time we watch Astralis walk away from this post-plant attempt.
So they used to be the team that you learned from when it came to how to retake B from CT spawn, but it feels like these days they don't go for it quite as much. And of course, when it's 5v4, it's even more unlikely. So this is a good round from G2. They find the open site quickly after getting the kill. This is exactly what they need. They're going to be testing Astralis. I think this is the final pain point here. The one other round G2 won was the exact same situation in this half. So I think Astralis, they're going to be pushed to be a little bit more aggressive towards Banana, which might open up and circle back to the rounds that we saw at the beginning of the half, where Arch side was the weakness. You know, will G2 try to squeeze for that or go for Hall's control again? That's what I would wonder. This is a very important opening, of course, that Kenny S finds, where he has to be fully focused, not checked out mentally. And that's not an opening that Device will give you every day of the week, so I'm sure there's a part of him that was like, I'm going to hold this. I'm not sure if I'm going to see anybody, but he reacts just fast enough. And G2 maintain a lead. If you're just joining us, it doesn't feel like G2 have a lead right now, and it shouldn't.
But again, oh, did it ever once upon a time.
Both teams so close to the finish line. Some of the damage is there. Astralis have won so many rounds, but they haven't built up quite a bank. And we see the 3B setup. They're trying to deny this, fight for it really hard. They'll even get glaive in front of the half wall. He's been incredibly aggressive and successful at it. Will they read this, though, is the question.
No support. He has nothing here to help him. Device does decide to come back ever so slightly. Nexa's going to clear the corner, but glaive gets the better of him, and then Device swings out for the second kill. Oh. Magnetized into the open, drawn to glaive, and it costs them 2.
Oh, the bike feed.
Kenny S just diving down now as Magisk is able to shave a little bit of health off him, but of course, oh, it's a great grenade from Hunter. A homing missile into the pit.
No one's in B site at the moment.
Now a single man advantage. Device, he's about to peek around the arch. He sees the utilities coming over, and he almost lands that shot. It's glaive instead from Library, and we're going to see G2 sent spiraling back to this B bomb site. They've got 2 belts of utility and 2 capable players still up. Nothing for Astralis other than guns and a single kit. They have to concede the bomb plant unless they want to run a massive risk. Device hears that bomb plant, decides not to fire the op. Kenny S, he gets the first rotator. Device, oh, he stepped on the fire, and still he shoots through into Amanek. It's Kenny in the clutch. A CT still on cross. He's drawn into Device, who seals the deal with 3 kills on this op.
That is incredibly well handled. After getting tagged by the Molotov, should have absolutely died. Could say he's unlucky for that happening. Makes up for the off shot through the smoke. And now it's 13-13. As soon as glaive and Device appear at Arch, they realize B site has been completely vacant. This is a huge play by Astralis to have made that rotation, knowing that G2 were going to try to squeeze after losing their early banana control. It's insane for them to have rotated that far around, and this is obviously the real strength of Astralis. In the final rounds, it feels like this is where they have just enough information to really make it even more difficult. So if you couldn't do it early on, they're going to make it feel like you never could. So, niko up to bat. They couldn't trade out Glaive. Again, he's been really, really successful with his aggressive duels at Arch, at Banana. Many, many rounds now. Different look from Astralis. Back in the site, Molly in front of the half wall. Don't know if they're going to re-aggress just yet. Glaive starts to walk his way over. I think this is a timing where, you know, G2 in the past have just gone into a full B exec, but this time they've got eyes forward on mid. They're trying to get Device or anybody else under the porch away with these Molotovs. And the Halls pop is pretty good. There's no one here inside of the pit.
Just a rush. They burst beyond dupreeh. Magisk here to help him. Glaive also with a kill. And that's it. A response. And kennyS slips through smoke. A site completely blown away.
What can you say? Great call from Nexa. They had that moment. Glaive thinks this is that point where we don't have Banana presence. G2 have executed B off nothing. No noise whatsoever. Come in quick. He leaves for a second. The A site is a little bit weaker because of it. G2 hit the A site. It's just the perfect read on the situation.
We've seen adjustments. At first it was all Arch. Then it turned into the kennyS op. Now a Balk burst. This is what Astralis were using to win rounds.
Hit tab for me there. So 2 of the last 5 rounds and a streak of 6 in a row before that to start the half for Astralis. But now the intermittent wins from G2, they're upping the frequency. It's happening more often. 14-13. They're keeping the lead up. It's getting scary here for Astralis. Now they're getting a little bit outplayed at the same time. It's a total toss-up this game, man. Couldn't be any more close.
Kenny taking a big risk, flying out like that, but they had already gotten a couple of kills on the site, so assuming that was the last line of defense, and an assumption that pays off. Glaive a little preoccupied with what was an unsuccessful hold. Astralis keeping 2 alive, a 4 to buy. This is the big one. If G2 take a 15th, then they have Astralis absolutely strapped for cash. Game on, boys.
Almanac to the halls this time instead of Hunter.
And to play early over towards Banana. Astralis, they are not taking any major risks.
Yeah. And
maybe that is a risk in and of itself.
Well, yeah, exactly. And G2 are, no, that's definitely a great way to frame it. And look at G2. They're trying to buy into their insecurity, right? They're throwing a fake smoke down into B. They're walking back towards the A site. They have Halls control to deal with. Could be another great call from G2 as Astralis start to try to gamble into the round. Pay attention to which way this bomb leans, but it seems like they're trying to take over the brackets.
Softening up a couple players from G2. Magisk's position on balcony. Almost got the kill towards Boiler. niko gets aggressed upon. He falls back. And Device, oh.
They're taking a lot of time, and now players are leaving the B site.
Yep. While G2 also moved back closer towards Banana. And it's not like Device has this deep angle.
Man, this is sick. Full slave to the rotations after losing bracket, having no information, and not seeing anything.
And we've seen Astralis save the majority of the time that this B site falls. Device, he is on his own, lays the smoke on the retreat, comes back in, misses the second shot, lands the third, but Amanek, he had run over top of the oranges, and Hunter denies Glaive, who just goes for a bit of a chance by bursting through that smoke. Now, we have seen unconfirmed damage that Astralis didn't know about when they decided to go for these saves. This time, yet again, you've got 2 players for G2 low, but look at the CTs. They're all the way over in pit. They decide to concede. Have we even seen a B-site retake attempt?
No, they don't even try it, especially not low numbers. I had such low expectations coming into this game. G2 coming off a 4-map loss streak on Inferno. I think we casted each and every single one. They looked very disappointing. They're losing to teams they should not lose to, and now they come into this game versus Astralis. They start off really strong. Astralis show a strong face in the second half, and G2 have overcome it. They're keeping up on every front. They've got Astralis playing scared, which is not something you see every day, trying to work off of their gamble reads. Device is still playing well. He does his best to delay, but look at the space that's being created. Almanac, he's just running for it, attacking from both sides. And G2 actually take 15.
My thoughts exactly. Astralis, this was their own decision. Having let those B site post plants slip through the fingertips round after round. At least 3 of them now called off from even trying.
That looked like a moment where G2 were going to commit to A, and that would have been a good site to take, but then they took long enough that Astralis started to doubt B. They rotated over, and I think niko must have made the call like that. He heard the nades on the on them reclaiming top banana, but they didn't clear the half wall behind him. niko said, come over here, they're probably going to leave. Felt like that he was the only person who was available to make that call, so you want to give him credit for that moment. 2 in a row here for G2 on 15. And Astralis, they're forced to buy. They have an MP9, a UMP, and a FAMAS to pair with their M4s. No op on device.
Not nearly as proactive of a CT side as what we saw from G2. Astralis just doing what they do. AMNX got a player closer than the one he sees. dupreeh, he could just swing wide on this. And dupreeh doesn't want to die, so that could have been a massive risk. He decides to hold it off while the 2 players in Boiler get an angle, but they just gave it up, and Hunter, his head could have been popped. Instead, he is given a chance to back away as niko gets closer to B. With bomb not far beyond him. We've got 4 players yet again from G2 setting up. And why wouldn't you? We haven't seen Astralis been able to stop them on the cusp of this. We haven't seen Astralis justify going for a retake. And the 2 players on A still for the CTs are far gone. Let's see. If this is a commitment from G2, then Astralis will be put to the test. They've got zywoo on oranges with just the MP9. There are still incendiaries clearly in hand for glaive. dupreeh also boosted. zywoo falls off of his initial position, takes a little bit of refuge here between the boxes instead. Smoke grenade goes down on the fire. Flash in the face of the T's. glaive on the other side. Tons of damage being done. G2 being held off for the time being. But there's a player wrapping around construction, and that could be everything. niko, he's going to catch glaive inside the edge of the smoke. It is all on zywoo. He gets the reload. 10 seconds left. Just needs to decide whether to deny bomb plant, but he gets burned into the open. Yet again, kills Device and Magisk with 1 apiece. And niko, he's got his plant, but the frag is on point. And Astralis on 14.
Oh, so much money there with the nades that they used. The smoke on the incendiary coming in. They created so much chaos for the T's. The HE landed right at their feet as they were about to enter the site. G2 tried to enter slowly, throw the incendiary down, the first smoke to come in, and then they waited it out. But then the utility usage from Astralis was absolutely perfect. I can't believe that niko gets this second kill. He picks out zywoo on the left side of the quad. I can't even believe he could see anything in that moment. He's lucky to even get a plant, but to end on a nade death while he's putting the bomb down is symbolic for how that execute into the site went. That was really, really well done for Astralis considering what they had to work with. Such a high-level match so far. Only good things to say about both teams. And it comes down to round 30.
Oh my god, a drop shot by Device. glaive's able to sustain. He then eats utility damage. Very low. CT's able to answer. Grenade after grenade. Damage after damage. Nexa, he's going to get that close kill. Oh! Double grenade kill from glaive. Device inside of the smoke as it fades. Hunter swings all the way back out, and we did not see that Deagle able to stop it. But there are still 2 players here for G2, Kenny S and Hunter. Bomb's going down. Kenny's going to be left in the open once that banana wrap comes in, but dupreeh is still so far removed. There is good utility here for Astralis. Let's see if they can get this retake. Even last round was made easy by these pieces of utility.
Oh, they have a smoke for CT.
Sick angle. Hunter's just going to hold close. glaive goes by. Kenny hits the shot. glaive. Oh, he may have died, but that is it. Astralis, they take us the distance, and we need OT.
Oh, let's go. We go to OT. That's wonderful. Another setup here. Astralis go for the 3B trap early on, just in case G2 try to execute in a similar way. They've got Device there, along with 2 others. G2 fall right into the trap. They go for the B exec. Honestly, at this point, you can tell, like, the mind games that are going on with the way that they're picking sites. It makes a lot of sense from both ways, from both sides. But G2 have been out-reading Astralis, and then Astralis come through, and in these last couple rounds have the right setup to catch what's coming towards them. The double nade, again, just shows you how ready they were for this. A beautiful HE here from Glaive lands right between the two Ts and blows them apart. So low on HP by that point. A barrage of grenades come down as they're trying to enter into the site. And this is, of course, the trade that could have made it a very precarious 1v1 for Astralis. But now we're into overtime. It absolutely had to happen. It's good to see both teams full grenades, everything they want. And Kenny now consistently offing here on the T side, even though he started out not. He's done the very difficult task of finding opening kills with the op on T side. No real underperformers in this match. A little bit more consistent across the board from Astralis, but everybody's showing up. Now you've really used up all your juice coming into overtime, right? Things get a bit more scrappy. You've got to find tricky openings, timings that weren't there before. Smoke comes down front sight.
I feel like Astralis' formula tends to work in overtime better than anybody else's. Every time we get into an overtime game, I just feel Astralis powering up with it. Takes a lot to push them down once we exit the first 30 rounds, but we'll see.
They're pretty passive here. They threw there was a smoke down on the front of the site on B after Glaive took that flash peek to top banana. They haven't come back to it. Dupreeh playing timidly in the archway. So this is a good opportunity to go B. Glaive is just trying to figure out where he should be. He can't figure it out.
Flash to the little pit. Zypkz cuts down the first two players. G2 hitting a bit of a brick wall on this B site. Device, he's going to throw a flash. 10 seconds left over. I mean, G2, they just boiled this one into their own demise. They are stranded. They are cowering in the corner, and they have no time. And now they're going to die even afterwards. This was a total mowdown from Astralis.
Some beautiful stuff from Zypkz. This is a round where G2 picked the right side. There's only two there. Glaive was halfway through Speedway before they picked to go into B. And they still win because Zypkz, he just plays it beautifully from the quad. Just straight up impressive mechanical performance. From coming back into the lineup for Zypkz, his stats have gone way up. Way up. He's had a really, really strong start. Hit the ground running on his way back into the starting five. Timeout will be called here for G2. You know, tactically, everything was sound there. But man, the counter utility is so insanely perfect from both sides. Glaive and Zypkz working together. As soon as they feel like the exec is coming, they have the perfect response. I think G2 are trying to, if they knew there was just the two rifles, they would give even less notice in terms of the utility they used to enter the site. But I think they have to be worried, of course, about getting opt every single round now that they're in OT. See, the ADR is just like very high on average across the board. Already something slightly new. niko's been doing a pretty good job of getting banana information.
Oh man, danger very close. Oh, and he's gets hard checked by Zypkz. I'm surprised we didn't see him swing or think he could capitalize on any of those moments. He was really hoping Astralis would overextend around the wall. We didn't see a flash come out from G2 for him to try and stop that. You could see he was wary of the boost, but Astralis, they're able to get away with it. 20 HP makes the difference there for Zypkz.
And now Astralis, they're definitely chilling a little bit more. Bracket will get taken over. Device can commit in front of the Moto smoke here, looking for the off duel, but Amanek outduels him. Oof, what an opening. Middle of the map has been cracked. And Amanek, he's running all the way through spawn. He's going to see two pressing outside of B. This means they could fall back out of mid if they'd like to, but instead they'll try to crush the A site. Magisk has to turn between two angles, and dupreeh, he's stuck on the balcony. He has to fight.
He's only able to get one kill with it. So now we see Astralis relegated to the library. Amanek going to be exposed, but nope. He just gets back around the corner. We've got that high ground from Hunter inside the apartments. And Zip never sees it coming. Total execution here from AMONEK. 2 headshots, 3 kills on the play, and it gives G2 that 16th round they need to tie things up. This was the start.
And this is a as you pointed out, this is a 5v4 where niko has, most of the time, he has not died at the top of Banana. He hasn't always gotten kills. I don't think he's ever even gotten a kill, but most of the time he stayed alive long enough to either see if they retake it or stand there and just come up if there's nothing there. But this is AMONEK. When he fights them in CT spawn, they can't even rotate fast enough to help out the 2 teammates that are left on A. And for G2, in these early rounds, they had a lot of time getting across Archway without dealing with the rotators too soon. So AMONEK out-dueling Device, and then going into CT spawn and fighting the B rotators was everything.
AMONEK's going to keep up this arch aggression. Looking to maybe rely on what worked last round, but we do get a redirection here towards short. CT's not in their best of spots. dupreeh, he's going to need to deliver, but it's AMONEK with a double headshot. niko takes a head off, and just like that, we've got G2 sinking their teeth into the A site. Astralis, after the CT side comeback, they let 2 rounds slip on this OT CT side unless they 2v5, and the odds of that, slim as hell. Kenny S, the insurance policy here. Once those counter-terrorists get going, he just locks them into position. 14 health left for Device. This is a 17-16 lead for G2 after the end of the first half in overtime.
Damn.
A massive improvement based off regulation.
I mean, you just got to look at AMONEK, right? He wins those 2 rounds. He gets the entry on Arch last round. Here he gets a 2K entry. 1 off the bike peak from Magisk. Look at those flash assists from Kenny S. There'll be another one here as well. He did such a good job for mid, throwing those flashbangs. The flashbangs from G2 are so well designed for the A site for these hits. I think our second player is only after image flash. It's not too bad, but AMONEK's timing. He comes up so fast. He does not care. He trusts his teammates. He creates space. That's what he does. AMONEK really does it all, man. Sometimes he's lurking on T side. Sometimes he's entering. All in the same round, too. So now we swap over, and G2, we go back to that fantastic CT side, and Astralis with more data now. We'll see if they can overcome it.
Ooh, damn. Utility damage and a half. Nexa and Kenny walking wounded. Did G2 re-aggress? This is crazy. Every single player in the server has between 20 and 25 kills. All 10 players tonight are delivering.
Yep.
And that is exactly what you want when we've got Astralis and G2 in the server.
Oh, this is a really high-level match.
Still got the 3-man setup. Kenny, he's going to hit that first shot. niko continues to spray and takes that 2-man advantage.
Oh, he gets up oranges as well.
AK start firing back through. They find nothing in return, not even damage beyond what they had already done. I mean, Kenny down to 6 now, but no chance to really reopen that wound on the B site.
2 hurt players playing over in the B site. One of them's going to rotate over to pick up Speedway. Hunter can commit more to the site, and it does look like A is on the menu. So now we're going to see the CTs get very comfortable here. Glaive, maybe he's going to try to throw one more fake. I don't know. Look, they're doubling up in pit even with Kenny watching the Speedway.
This is going to be a challenge for Zip to somehow break through. CT smoke goes down on short. AMONEK's out in the open. dupreeh not able to get that immediate trade kill. Glaive, his Molotov comes in, and they still don't know about Hunter. He has fallen completely silent. And he waits, and he waits, and he... Oh! Gets denied by dupreeh! Only 7 seconds left. Bomb planted. This is an opening for Astralis to tie up at 17. But it's over towards short that niko begins to walk in, and he hones in on Glaive. Instant headshot. Loses no health. niko's got 2 kills. dupreeh's got cover. Pops up and cannot answer. niko delivers the retake after Astralis made that one look doable.
That's a retake they couldn't pull off in the first half. When things got really close and those crazy entries came in the last final moments, Astralis were able to win the 2v1s, the 1v1s, the 1v2s every single time. Here's a moment, dupreeh, he's so aware his teammates are fighting in the site, but he literally, he jumps into the pit, doesn't have any idea actually the Hunter's there. Knife was out in the air.
That's a lifeline.
He is so lucky to have gotten that kill and for it to come that close, because G2 definitely, you know, deserved to be able to win that round. Some early damage from Astralis with the HEs, but then we saw the re-aggression. Kenny S went out wide for the B peak. He got flashed, he took a shot, niko had his fall back. They both stayed alive, and then they read the adjustment set perfectly, playing 2 pit. They are making all the moves. They look primed to take this map. They're continuing on their dominant run on the CT side. And Astralis failed in this first half to show us what their comeback could look like. Now Halls is taking over for Astralis. It's an early 3B setup. No decision has been made for Astralis. If they knew Arch was open, this would be a terrifying situation for G2. With no noise. They don't even want to throw top banana grenades so as to affect anything. Coming back to A could be the exactly perfect call, but look at this. They're holding their nerve inside of B. Bracket control is all a farce.
They're going to walk into the setup. It's niko flirting with the front of it. Utility in hand. Smoke down at the 30-second mark. Oh my. It is crunch time. And niko, the landmine, sits between the smokes. They're going to try to just push right through. He gets flashed and misses the shots. Nexa's only good for the one. It's Hunter here on the half wall. He delivers 2 kills. dupreeh's able to answer. And it's even at the 2v2 with just enough time to bomb plant. Astralis in the post plant. Amanek and kennyS. It is their job to recover. First op shot misses the mark. A little bit more damage into dupreeh. Flashes start to fly over, and Amanek, he's going to take that front runner position. He's flashed in by Kenny, and it's the corner from dupreeh that holds the line for now. Kenny's going to need some sick flicks because he is pinched between 2 T's, and he jumps around to the coffins. Good movement in the clutch, but where has dupreeh gotten off to? He wrapped all the way around construction. Kenny hits the shot,
He knows.
taps that bomb. He's looking for the kill, but he just can't find it, and Astralis will keep this one going.
Oh my god, he seems so nervous about that angle from the jump. That wicked first shot, but he can't get the second. Oh, heart-stopping moment here. And this flash is so insane. niko, he's trying to be tucked in so the close flashes do nothing, but he is full blind that whole time, and Hunter waits just enough to try to make up for it. If he shoots too early there, he might only get one. Yeah, a crazy attempt in the clutch. Astralis come one closer to bringing this to another overtime, man. This is such an insane match. At every single moment. All these 2v2 retake situations, and now they're starting to become more 50-50. It was a one-sided story to begin the game.
This is some top-level Counter-Strike.
Yep.
What a delight of a first map so far this series. In a map that we thought maybe G2 weren't going to be able to deliver. Oh, they've got one more chance to close here, or else we go double OT. And I don't think anybody would mind.
We're doing the Virtus Pro lane setup with the roof boost. Again, it's so hard to keep things fresh in overtime. They're trying something new. They've got sandbags control, so they're still holding on to the top of banana. Astralis peeling away from... And the last time they took lane control, they did smoke out Arch, but I mean, they smoked out lane. But we've got Amanek up top. We'll see how this goes. Oh, initial off shot comes in. Amanek still goes unchecked, but they might know he's here.
This is big for Amanek. Device is not giving him the shot. dupreeh's down to 40 HP, and that's the answer. Now they know about Amanek, and he could get caught by Zip, but he's on high alert, Amanek, and he falls back into the bomb site. He's got a second player here. That's niko over on Graveyard. Bomb starting to go the opposite side. Magisk, he's going to become the entry.
Nexa starts to run over. Smoke will go down. Nate to try to stop him, but now they're running back over towards the A side. niko's not moving.
niko is going to have to just absolutely cement this position. He goes for the peek, and, oh, he doesn't get it. xyp9x survives with 2 points of health. Astralis rocking the bomb back and forth, rocking the boat, and G2 in shaky situation. This is tense. They have no utility for the retake. They want to close this game. Oh, they want it bad. But it's another smoke in their face, and 2 players back by pit. Magisk hits the shot through the side of the smoke, and Nexa already starting to take damage. He walks right through it, misses his chance, and Astralis take us just one step further.
Zip.
Double OT.
Zip doesn't get that kill. We do not have anything. niko, if he wins his duel here at mid, that's it. There's no time to even plant the bomb. So this one kill in this pressure cook of a round is what it all came back to. And it wasn't the nicest spray both ways. Definitely a nerve-wracking situation.
Wow.
At that point, you know, round's already unlikely. Behind the moto smoke, they're in the wrong position, and G2 end up losing. We go to double overtime. I mean, I'm all for it. Like, let's just get more of this because it's just consistently delivering. Nobody's faltering in overtime. Both teams are just getting better.
Not one player has dropped off. I can't recall the last time I've seen stats like this.
Yeah, it's so even here. kennyS, he has been continuing to get opening kills. That was a testy lane setup that they tried last time around. kennyS, he's going to have some pressure put on him. He takes a lot of damage, but he doesn't die. He'll eventually fall out. This is when it got scary last time for Astralis.
They are on the cusp of this A site. We get the rotates from G2 coming over. Glaive's going to work around the pallet.
You know what? There's a lot of progress being made on the T side, but oh, the flash in from niko.
Glaive, oh, he's now starting to dive back. That's a lot of presence being given to Arch side. Maybe Astralis read into this and dive out, but no, they just want to go ahead on the offensive. They attack. ammonk, he's burned into the open, and it's niko with the 2K diving back into the cover. They challenge and they take him down. zywoo getting the better of him in back-to-back rounds. Nexa, narrow angle, decides to come out. He's got zywoo behind the double box, and that is exactly what Astralis need. A lead, at least by one, to start in double OT.
And they had the whole family there. Everybody was all over A site. Nexa was on the other side of the smoke trying to figure out how to be useful. We had kennyS rotating in from CT spawn behind the smoke. Someone in library doing the same thing. They relied on their two players within the site to deliver, and they actually did a pretty decent job. Astralis had it all going for them. They knew that was going to be a hard fight. They realized that basically it took so long and they didn't get that opening arch kill on Kenny that everybody was going to be attracted to this position, but they had the smokes in place to make sure the rotators couldn't fight that early.
What? Oh my, he's looking at his feet.
He's looking, they're going to go for a boost. They didn't expect him to come out mid that early. He was trying to pick towards stairs, but it's a faster default here on the T side. kennyS, he could get shot on the side. He's holding deep for stairs. Yeah, that's it. He can't see anything. This is where it could all fall apart for G2.
Yeah, they are shooting for that clean sweep on the T side. Zip's gonna get caught as he falls into pit, but he's not even dead. He has survived what seems like every round so far. Once we got into double OT. They cannot kill this man. And obviously, G2 working with $10,000 in overtime. They cannot justify this retake.
What a tragic way to lose the map if they do.
They're at the mercy of Astralis even trying to save these guns.
Of course, Astralis need 22 here to close out, so there's still hope for G2. Both teams look good in both halves at this point. They both figured out a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. You get into double overtime. We're finally getting kills like this. Like, it felt like we didn't get one kind of lucky timing kill this entire game until this point. But they're finally starting to happen. In G2, they're the ones to falter a little bit first.
And he just threw his smoke towards spawn. Oh my god. Talk about down to the wire. 6 HP. niko, he gets 2 kills, but the incendiary eventually spreads. Hunter, he's going to be fine. He'll be just all right. Astralis, 2 rounds in a row in double OT for a 2018 lead, and this. dupreeh wasting no time getting to the top of middle, completely catching them off guard, and then getting his second kill versus Kenny, who was just looking for an answer. dupreeh, he did everything here.
Yeah.
Opens up the A site and keeps off what could have been an initial bit of success from the defense's rotate, and now, oh, poor G2. They're working with an ump and a CZ on Kenny, no kit for a retake, limited nades, and an Astralis that looked to take all 3 rounds on this T side of double OT.
Well, we saw a couple of rounds where G2 didn't have much to work with, and they still won. Actually, more than a couple in that first half. They do bring a lot to the table on these half-buy type situations. They think about how to use these guns effectively, but it's still a weapon deficit nonetheless. Astralis looking for the Halls pop. There is a player in pit.
Zip on the entry. Ump gets blinded. ammonk just hoping that they come walking around the corner. Not going to happen. 2 instant kills. 3 instant kills. Again, it is the story of an aggressive offense on the A site from Astralis.
Damn, they actually close it out. Flawless here in the first 3 T rounds of OT number 2. See the AI prediction, virtually no chance of this retake taking place. Astralis would have to show us an Astralis we haven't seen this game, and that's one that's just been getting better and better. One away from winning. Almost at 22. Need to win one of these next 3 rounds, and you better believe they have an extremely high chance of getting it. Oh, he's got to be deflated at this point. Such a good game from G2, and it's to pile on to a statistic where they've coming off of 4 Inferno losses, and in none of those 4 games did they look anywhere as good as they did today. But of course, to take down Astralis is just no small feat on this map. But looking forward now, I think they can confidently say their Inferno has improved drastically. So we'll see if this is going to be the final round, potentially. kennyS is going to spot the cross, call for his teammates to wash in halls. And G2 will have to break new ground. 3 rounds on T side just to bring it to OT number 3.
niko gets that first contact.
Oh, that's
perfect.
That's beautiful. Just layups himself there. There's the alley-oop.
Glave's going to try to challenge off of Coffins. This is the opening that G2 were hoping for. Oh, they get Glaive as well. Nexa, he's got that headshot. It's a 5v3 advantage for G2 on the B site. We watched Astralis concede more than 1 round over on the B-bomb site, and that's exactly what's going to happen here in double OT.
That's niko again, creating space. He finds that opening by himself, does the damage.
Just banks it off the skybox.
The nade to follow up right for that first orange's rotate. It's just perfect. Outplayed from every perspective. Bomb will go down. CT's here to save. Of course, you know, you need it's the full game of Counter-Strike here in 10K OT. Saving and being careful is very important, as well as trying to find these exits. There's also incentive here so the game does not end. And they're going to try to hunt these down so they have an easier route. It's pretty much their only chance, right? If they win 2 in a row, then they can earn themselves a route to actually winning that third. But if there's 3 saves on this round, then you think that's going to be far more unlikely. So they're creeping up. Bomb's about to explode. And I don't know, it's going to be quite difficult with the smoke still up.
Oh, device. Okay.
Yeah, that's an off-down. That's actually significant. We'll see if that matters. And we'll see if niko can pull off a play like he just did here.
Look at this prediction. Knows he's falling back low HP.
It couldn't have been more perfect, man. Oh my god, that actually would have done straight on like 50 damage.
That thing locked on like a boom bot.
And he had nothing, like there was no better place for jaCkz to go, right? So he had him zoned. If he had rotated back through, you know, the other side of the fountain, then niko could have definitely sprayed him down or peeked him. So he knew exactly where he was. He took out that target.
Let's see it, Astralis. You got 2 chances to close this. kennyS hunting his prey here towards Banana. A random shot through the wall could just drop jaCkz in a moment. Device gets taken away from the angle. Flash goes over top. Zip looking to bank a nade back the other way. Sure enough, it does hit Nexa. Tons of utility now being exchanged, but it is all still under question. Astralis, they don't fall back into the bomb site. G2 don't leave. They don't charge forward. It's just posturing here at the minute mark.
Tense situation. They're going to throw that Molotov to get Device back specifically. And there's no re-aggression for the time being, so they could get half-wall control. Just in the next few seconds, they'll flash over to clear things out. They're going to see Device is not here, but they still have to worry about him within the site. But maybe they just want the B control.
Hunter, he's gone through the apartments now as well, sees nothing. Oh, they try to flash him off, and it doesn't find his eyes. niko is down for the count.
Just throws 3 CTs on this side, so this double pit setup is going to have to work together.
It's Magisk and dupreeh. Smoke laid down preemptively. Magisk, he finds Hunter with a nade out. This is it. Astralis 5 versus 3 trying to close out in double overtime. Op shot connects to Glaive, but he still stands. More utility damage coming in. Nothing has fallen on the A site. Nothing at all. Kenny gets a single kill, but it is nothing more than a parting gift. 22 rounds.